All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to break down a really powerful and honestly quite moving play by Susan Hill called On the Face of It. It's one of those stories about a brief, chance encounter that has the power to change, well, pretty much everything.
So, picture this. It all starts in what seems to be an abandoned garden. A young, kind of withdrawn boy named Derry climbs over the wall, just looking for some peace and quiet. But turns out the garden isn't empty at all. It's the little sanctuary of an old man, Mr. Lamb. So you've got these two outcasts, and they're about to collide.
And that's really the big question the play asks us, right? It's all about that bond that can form between two people who the world has, in a lot of ways, just cast aside. So, how does this whole thing unfold? Okay, so our story kicks off with this initial, really tense meeting. It's this moment that's just filled with suspicion on one side and a completely surprising welcome on the other. So let's meet our two characters. On one side, you've got Derry. He's 14, he's bitter, he's totally shut off from the world because one side of his face was badly burned by acid. And on the other side, you have Mr. Lamb, an old man with a tin leg who is just surprisingly open and welcoming, even with his own physical difference. You've got to understand, Derry is climbing into this garden looking for an escape. He's not there to cause trouble. He's there to hide from a world that he feels is just constantly staring at him, judging him. He thinks he's finally found a place to be alone. But Mr. Lamb's reaction just completely throws him for a loop. I mean, Derry goes to all the trouble of climbing the wall like a trespasser, and Mr. Lamb basically says, "You know the gate was open, right?" That simple statement, that's Mr. Lamb's entire philosophy right there. Total openness, total acceptance. So this brings us to the core conflict. And it's not a physical fight, not at all. It's a battle of worldviews. It's Derry's deep-seated cynicism clashing with Mr. Lamb's gentle, quiet wisdom. For Derry, his entire identity is defined by this injury. He truly believes his face is the only thing anyone ever sees, and that their only reactions can be fear or pity or disgust. And that belief, that's the wall he's built around himself. See, Derry doesn't even wait for Mr. Lamb to judge him. He immediately lashes out with the cruelest words he expects to hear. It's like he's trying to beat him to the punch. He's so used to being treated this way that he just serves it up himself to get it over with. It's a defense mechanism, but it's one that keeps him completely alone. And Mr. Lamb's response, it's just brilliant. He doesn't give him pity. He doesn't flinch or look away. He offers Derry something he has probably never experienced before: genuine, unfiltered curiosity. He sees a person, a boy, not just a burned face. And this is where we get to the real heart of their conversation, where Mr. Lamb starts to gently chip away at all those defensive walls Derry has built up. So Mr. Lamb starts with this really simple but kind of profound philosophical question. He points to his weed garden and just asks, what's the real difference? I mean, who gets to decide that one plant is beautiful and the other one is just trash? It's a direct challenge to all the labels that have been tormenting Derry his whole life. And this right here, this is Mr. Lamb's whole philosophy in a nutshell. He just refuses to accept the world's arbitrary judgments. Doesn't matter if it's a flower, a weed, a boy with a burned face, or an old man with a tin leg. To him, it's all just life. It's all growing and existing, and there's value in all of it. You can just see how their perspectives are miles apart. Derry is completely trapped, thinking his face is the only thing in the entire world worth looking at. But Mr. Lamb pushes back, saying there are tons of other things to see: apples, crab apples, spiders climbing ladders. He tells Derry that yeah, his face won't change, but the world's got a whole face, and the world's there to be looked at. It's all about shifting your focus. And here's maybe the most beautiful metaphor for that shift in focus. It's all about your perspective, right? Is that sound the bees are making an annoying buzz? Or, if you really listen, is it a beautiful humming that almost sounds like singing? The sound itself doesn't change, but how you hear it, that can change everything. And that's the lesson he's trying to pass on to Derry. So this conversation, as you can imagine, has a huge effect on Derry, and it leads him to make this critical decision, one that could honestly change the entire course of his life. For the first time, maybe ever, Derry feels a pull towards connection instead of away from it. His promise to come back is just so fierce and defiant. And notice how he even kind of boasts about being able to run, comparing it to Mr. Lamb's tin leg. It's not a mean job, not at all. It's his way of saying, I'm strong, I'm capable, and I'm promising you I'll be back. And the stakes for him, they could not be higher. When he gets home, his mom tries to stop him from going back. But Derry finally understands that garden, that one man, that single connection, it now represents his entire future. If he doesn't go back, he's basically surrendering to being isolated forever. But, and this is just heartbreaking, while Derry is filled with all this new hope, what's going through Mr. Lamb's mind? After Derry leaves, we hear what he's thinking to himself. He's heard these promises before. He stays open always, but a whole lifetime of loneliness has taught him not to get his hopes up. It just adds this layer of bittersweet reality to Derry's big moment. So, let's pull it all together. What is the ultimate message of this incredible encounter? What's the real bond that connects these two characters? At the end of the day, their bond really comes down to this. Both of them have been physically marked, and because of that, they've been pushed to the edges of society. What unites them isn't their injuries. It's their shared loneliness and that deep, deep down desire to just be seen for who they are, not what they look like. The key takeaways here are just so powerful. Mr. Lamb teaches us that labels, weed or flower, they're just perspectives. He shows Derry that hating other people is like acid. It just burns you up from the inside. And ultimately, the play shows us that real connection, true connection, only happens when we make the choice to look past the surface, to see beyond what's just on the face of it. And the play leaves us hanging with that question. We're left to wonder if Derry's brand new hope will win out over Mr. Lamb's lifetime of experience. And it really forces us to ask ourselves, in our own lives, do we see the person or do we just see the face? What do we choose to focus on?